Pokemon Z-A comes out in a couple of weeks or so, and honestly I have zero interest in it whatsoever. Now why is that? Well, to be honest, I've been slowly drifting away from the Pokemon series these past few years. After the absolute train wreck that was Scarlet and Violet, it showed me just how much the Pokemon company just doesn't care at all now. Don't get me wrong, I still think the games were actually decent, but there's no denying the state it was released in. Lag, glitches, graphics, just really bad all around. And to this day, they have fixed absolutely nothing. Like, okay, cool, we can play the game at a better frame rate now on Switch 2. Fantastic, but that doesn't change anything. Jump forward to now where we have Pokemon Z-A. This is going to be a sort of sequel to Legends Arceus, a game that I thought was okay, I guess. It was unique, but got boring halfway through, as you were just doing the same thing over and over again. But now with Z-A, you'd think they'd improve upon the concept. I mean, they did say they were going to spend more time crafting the next game, right?
Lies! Fucking lies!
Yeah. Of course they weren't. These games sell like hotcakes anyway. They ain't gonna put any effort into them anytime soon. They'll sell an instant million copies on day one. Now what's wrong with this game, you may ask? Well, just look at it, the visuals just look bad. The lighting doesn't set the mood at all when it's supposed to be nighttime. Instead of well lit lampposts with lighting effects and illuminating the streets, it just looks like they've literally changed the skybox and called it a day. Even a game like Sonic Unleashed, which, may I remind you, released in 2007, did a way better job at the night setting. It actually looked dark, just look at Spagonia. The textures look flat and the Pokemon models are somehow now less detailed than they were in Scarlet and Violet. But the biggest reason why I'm not interested in the game is, well, it just looks boring. You're telling me the entire game takes place in one city? All the streets just look the same. The wild Pokemon are just awkwardly shoved into the wild areas. The Pokemon battles just take place in the streets. Again, you're telling me that these dangerous explosive battles are just taking place where people live and work? In the other games it was in fields and whatnot, so you know, it was understandable the immersion wasn't broke. And that's what's going on in Z-A. There's no immersion because not only does it just look bad, but the battles just apparently take place anywhere in the city. And because the game is only taking place in the city, what exactly is there to do in this game? The plot involves you climbing the ranks to help the city out, and presumably an evil organization is going to try and stop you. At least that's what I assume the plot is. Even the official story trailer just kind of skimmed over everything, which yeah, leaves surprises and all, but still, aren't these trailers supposed to sell you on the game? How is this plot any different from any other Pokemon game? In that same trailer, they reveal these mega Pokemon battles, where wild Pokemon are randomly mega evolving. Does this even tie into the plot, or is it just there just because? Who knows, they never told us in the trailer, they were just, oh yeah, megas are here too, I guess. I'm not even sure they're going to go into the lore of the megas. You think they would, but that's nowhere to be seen in the trailers, they haven't told us yet. But wait, there's side quests too, where you take some trubbish to a woman. I'm not lying when I say this looks like the worst Pokemon game yet. Even Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield and BDSP, the bottom of the barrel Pokemon games, had unique locations. In Z-A, there's just nothing to explore, it's just all in the one city. So you know what that means? We can't see how different this version of Kalos is. We'll never know what this power plant is about. We'll never have Pokemon like Volcanion be properly explained. Nothing. We've waited this long for this? Pokemon Z was easily the most requested game in the series, right behind the Diamond and Pearl remakes, because something just always felt missing with Kalos. All these inconsistencies and oddities that were never really explained, but they've completely dropped the ball here. This game did not take long to make at all. It's been crapped out like every other Pokemon game has been for the last 8-ish years. I'm sorry if I've been a bit vague in this video, but again, I honestly can't tell what this game is even trying to do. These traders have done a terrible job. In fact, I don't even think they've done a terrible job. I just think there's nothing to the game. I mean, even the Megas don't look good here. I know Megas have never really looked the best, but come on, why do these all look like they were only designed with Twitter memes in mind? You know, the type of designs that make grown-ass men and women jump around and scream and react to it online? Those kind of designs. I haven't even mentioned the best part of all this. If you want the complete Pokemon Z-A experience, there will be £50 for the base game, £25 for the DLC, which, by the way, is up for pre-order before the game is even out, £18 for a year's worth of Nintendo's online subscription because there's Mega Stones now locked behind the online rank battles, and £15 for a year's worth subscription of Pokemon Home, which, by the way, any Pokemon from this game or put into this game cannot be transferred back into the old game, so what's even the point of Home at this point? But yeah, this will all run you around £108. £108. The only redeeming thing about this game is the new gameplay mechanics, the in real time battling. I admit, does look a bit interesting, but at the end of the day, Pokemon Z-A just looks boring. It looks dull, repetitive, janky, no different than any other Pokemon game. I will not be buying this, and if I were you, I wouldn't buy it either. If you absolutely have to, just get it second hand or Sail the 7 Seas or something. That's going to be it for today. I'll see you later.